This is Hebrew Hits presented by JTribeRadio.com. I'm your host, Malya, and I sit down with people who live by the motto, it's what you do with what you have that makes a difference. Welcome to the show. I'm here with Yossi Hecht, who lives in Far Rockaway, New York, went to Yeshiva Darchei Torah, and is the founder of Asher to the Yatzar. So, Yossi, tell me a little bit of a background of the organization Asher to the Yatzar and why was it founded?
Okay, so a little background was that about, it's almost coming up on a year actually, we were living it, and I was having trouble walking in my left foot. It was like giving me problems. And I went to this doctor and he tells me, oh, he's a specialist, a foot specialist. You know what? With this boot, 6 weeks you'll be fine. You'll be scot-free. Come back in 6 weeks, maybe I'll give you a shot. I said, okay, great. So I wore the boot. It was coming up. It was like June 28th. It was a Thursday. I remember these dates like yesterday because of all the, these events. You're not going to forget these dates or anything. And I was going to go up to camp on Sunday, on June 30th, I believe. And so I went to this, I tied this boot really tight because I wanted to play sports. I wanted to, I used to play basketball. I'm a tall guy, 6'1". I want to, get those rebounds. And I said, let me tie the boot tight. Maybe I'll get a chance to, to play basketball or something. So I tied it really tight. And in the middle of Mar, I went to Mar. It was in Boston, based in Lawrence. I tied it really tight. And then what happens is that I felt something really weird. It was like some really weird moves going through my feet. Mm-hmm. And anyway, it was a little strange. I come home when I realized it was a dead leg because I went to the shower and I had to pick my foot up. Meaning usually you have to go, you go in the shower, happened, and it was like totally like flappy. It was just like totally mobile.
Oh
okay, yeah, it was a rough stuff. So the next day was Friday. It was Friday the next day. I was down in chakras, and my neighbor comes over. They do achiezer. They do food in the hospitals. And then he's like, my brother, his brother had a whole crazy thing happen to him actually, that he fell down, he cracked his skull or something crazy like that. He's like, well, he can't do that, but maybe you're much better off than him, so maybe you could drive. Please, I beg you, I'm desperate. I said, okay, fine, I'll guess so, whatever. I mean, you have to do all the schlepping, I can't move, my leg is dead. Fine, so I started driving. Even my right leg was starting to getting some little weird stuff. I drive around, we do the things, I'm dragging my foot all over the hospital. It was really weird. And the Shabbos was even worse, because it's like I was totally deaf.
Wait, you were dragging your leg and you didn't realize that, like, you really didn't have any feeling in it? Like, what did you think? Like, what did you think your foot was like?
I was just like, I was bewildered. I was like totally like, I don't know what's going on over here, basically.
Because I had nothing like that, but I had once I fell asleep on my hand. And then I woke up and the hand just like flew up and I'm like, whose hand is that? I couldn't find my hand. And like, it is nothing like what you had, but like the same thing. I didn't know, like I couldn't feel it and I couldn't feel anything. I don't know how you walked around the hospital. That's really incredible that you pushed yourself to do that, even if you
gotta push.
Wow.
You always gotta push. You gotta truck along. That's the way it works. That's the slogan. You gotta truck. Keep on trucking.
Well, that's what I'm put as your slogan in the show, because I do quotes by everybody, so I'll do that. You gotta truck along. Yossi Hecht. So then what happened?
So then it was a really interesting Shabbos, to say the least. I mean, I was dragging myself all the way. I was using 2 crutches, getting to shul, barely able to stand up, barely able to do anything. And actually, funny note, on Shabbos day, I went to one of these doctors. 2 guys in shul are doctors. I was like, hey, what's up? They're like, yeah, it's a dead leg. Just walk it off. I was like, all right, we'll try it, So I kept on. I tried, see what I did. I didn't think it was really anything. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. So to say the least, it was crazy. So then Sunday was even worse because Sunday I was like, I went to chakras. I told my mother I was like, I can't go to camp today, and it was camp. But that day was June 30th. It's actually my birthday, my 21st birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, what a birthday present, right? So 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 especially 21st birthday is the best. You can get to drink and then no, you get to go to the hospital. Better than that. So I went June 30th. I dragged myself. My mother said, I don't know. You sure? We'll help you pack up. I was like, trust me, something's wrong. I can't. I was able to. I was able to stand, barely, like shrugging along, like like it was like awful. So then so we made an appointment with my doctor. He had nothing on Sunday. I had to wait till Monday. So we had like a very interesting thing. I still remember it was a light blue tablecloth. We had we couldn't go out to eat because I was really able to move. So I went. We had my father grilled some stuff. We grilled some stuff, some steaks, whatever. I had a home barbecue. But the reason I say blue tablecloth is because when I came home 3 months later, it was still there because my family never had Shabbos at home for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
my parents came every single week. My mother was
What did
never.
your siblings do?
A lot of them usually. So my siblings usually came. There's always one there on Shabbos. So my parents, they stayed in an apartment usually, and then usually one or two out of my siblings would stay with them and me. It was whatever. That's usually how it worked.
Wow, so you went to the hospital that day on
No, I
your
did
birthday.
not my birthday. I had to wait because there are no appointments that day. I had to wait till the
That's
next, to
the
July
appointment.
1st.
So
July,
you went to the hospital. So you went to the hospital on July 4th and you didn't come home for
no,
three
July 1st.
months?
July 1st.
July 1st you went to the hospital and you didn't come home
Yeah,
for 3 months.
I didn't come home till October 11th, I believe it was.
Wow. And you always had people at the hospital with you.
Yeah, that's why when I say the COVID, it's so crazy because like I lived up these people came. I had all the singers come. Mordechai Shapiro, 1 in a million. He actually came. Yeah, we had some
Oh,
fun.
okay.
Yeah, he came for a while. Mordechai Ben David, Avram Fried, Baruch Levine, Shlomi Dax. I can't. Joey Newcomb. I mean, they all came. Yeah, I have pictures of all of them. I like singing, so it's like a geschmack. All these singers come and everything.
That's so nice that they came. You knew they were coming, or they
No,
just.
a lot of them were surprises. It was a pretty cute surprise.
So
Yes,
let's talk
but
about Asher to the Yatzar a little bit. Did you think of the idea in the hospital, and did you start it by yourself?
okay. So basically, what happened was just to make this story quick, I basically had a MRI which showed I had a tumor there. So I had a 10-hour surgery on July 3rd. Um, basically, one of the repercussions of anything that happens to the spinal cord is that one of the repercussions is that you lost the urination. Obviously, everything under the level of the injury will be limited function of anything, but my feet, God forbid, Chas v'shalom, it happened. People have in the cervical area, which is the neck, so their hands are totally like dead, totally dead. They can't do anything. They can't button. They can't do this. They can't touch their face. They have no feeling. It's really, and I witnessed all this because I was in a spinal cord injury. I was in a spinal cord injury rehab. So I definitely, I know what it means. So that's why I'm very thankful. It's only my injury is actually T10, which is thoracic. So there's the cervical, there's the thoracic, and the lumbar. So anyway, so what I had to get to the point about Yatzar was that after my surgery, I was not able to urinate. They gave me about a day or two after the surgery on Friday morning. They gave me a chance. They gave me 8 hours, and I was unfortunately not able to go. So they had to put it back in, which was super painful, very very painful to stick the tube down. I mean, it's awful. So I went through Shabbos with the catheter. It was really not fun. And Motzei Shabbos, I was like so desperate to do something to get it back. It was just like, and I begged my Rebbe to Rabbi Kielsen for, because he does, he always does things with good terms, but I knew I could always have him, because in Darche he always dealt with people who had, different situations, unfortunately people, different kind of situations, and he always was at the forefront to help them. So I figured, let me call him. So I spoke to him, and he said, you know what, let me call you back. I'll think of something. Maybe an hour or two later, I still remember, he sent me a picture. They printed cards that said, I will stand, in place by Asher Yatzar from now. So then it was, what was it, like Gimel Tammuz maybe? Because Rosh Chodesh was surgery, Shabbos, a few days later, around Gimel Tammuz. Mm-hmm. And he said, stand until Yud Zayin Tammuz. It's a good day, Shabbat or Tammuz, the 3 week starts. So until then, it's about roughly around, a little more than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
So it must have been such a comforting feeling knowing that Rabbi Kielsen came up with something for you so quickly.
That's a very good point. It was pretty amazing. I have to say the least. I was speechless. So it was like 200 guys did it. Then that was like Matei Shabbos. So it started getting hit like Sunday morning. They started doing the Kabbalah and everything. I still had the catheter in me, and then they said, we'll give you another chance Monday. We'll see what happens, because in the meantime, on Shabbos, they were telling me maybe 6 months you have to get cath, maybe more. Many spinal cord injuries. We'll teach you how to do it. Before you leave the hospital, we'll teach you either 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5, whatever, a few times, like every 8 hours you have to do it. And yeah, it's very, 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 very painful. So I was not looking forward to it. And I screamed and said, nope, not happening. And they were like, she's like totally like, she like, okay, like almost like laughed at me. I didn't care. First of all, I was on drugs and everything from the surgery. My body was open for 10 hours. So, and then what happened was, Monday morning, like around early in the morning, they gave me a chance. They took out the catheter. Then what happened was, I was very lucky. I had this physical therapist come around then. Hashem worked it out then. He stood me up. He got me to stand. I could not stand before, really. It was very hard because once the spinal cord gets ruptured, not ruptured. Once it gets injured or anything like that, you have to retrain all the nerves what to do. They don't know what to do anymore. They don't know how to stand. So I sat, and then the nurses came and sat me up in the bed. Like the beds are really cool, and they can make you like a chair. And then all of a sudden, it was just like out of nowhere, it just like came out, and it was like, wow, that's when if you look at my latest video, Yatzar Corona Chizuk, you can see on YouTube, you can see on the website ashertyatzar.com/videos. You see me, my emotions coming out, and it's obviously very. I'm sure people are gonna understand it, because it was like something they're telling me 6 months, and then like I just able to do it. Like people take it for granted. I myself took it for granted. I knew about Yatzar, and I knew like I stood in place. I tried whenever I could, but like when I was able to do it, something that defied the laws of science, it was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So
that's very cool. And 100% that it's because Rabbi Kielsen got those 200 guys to say Asher Yatzar.
I actually, it's funny you asked that, because I actually was thinking about it. What happened? Let's say nothing. Let's say I never called him. No one ever made any campaign. No 200 guys stood. What would happen? And the answer is, we're not God. So that's we don't know, because God's in charge, and it could have happened. I could have got it right away after the first time they tried on that Friday, but it didn't happen. It could have took 6 months. We have no idea, because we're ants is not even a word. We're 7 foundations under the ground, and maybe there we only get the speck of dust. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so far removed to what happened in this world that I don't know what have happened, but you know what? It happened. So I'm thankful and happy, and I personally attribute to that, because I'm almost positive in my. I don't even want to say mind, because I'm not a mind compared to the heavenly powers. But for my personal feelings, is that definitely did something and did something that, as I wrote in my article in the Jewish Home, I wrote it defied the. I didn't write that. I wrote it broke barriers. It broke barriers that can normally not be shattered.
Yeah, that was a good line. But Baruch Hashem, everything worked out in the end.
But then what happened is that I had to get 2 more washout surgeries because of an infection because I was open for such a long time. So we don't know. There's no cameras in the OR, so we don't know what happened in the operating room. Mm-hmm. But what's it called? We have to cut that out.
It's fine. I could do everything. I cut it all out.
We don't know what happened in the OR, but I had an infection, and what happened after the infection, the biggest worst result was that I was unfortunately not able to go yet again. And this time, it did not last the 2 days. Unfortunately, I had to deal with, catheter full-time, intermittently, for about 6 weeks. And then the reason what happened after 6 weeks was that I released a video called Asher to Yatzar Restart Campaign. And since we released that video, I never got capped. So that's, if you want to know about, back to your previous question about attributing to that, I definitely attribute to that. I attribute it to this campaign because, something again they told me, that because even after, when I was getting intermittently catheterized, the nurse, my main nurse in the Mount Sinai rehab, which I had to go to learn how to walk again, it's inpatient rehab. She's like, we're going to have to teach you before you leave. And I said, not happening. And I'm not learning how to do it because guess what? Before I leave here, I am not going to be learned because I'm going to have to go on my own.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and guess what? She was wrong because I got people who took this Kabbalah on themselves. I have Hashem on my side, and Baruch Hashem, they were proven wrong, and I'm couldn't be more happy than that. Because if you want to know truthfully, they have a survey, and my doctor told me this, and all his patients, most patients would rather be able to go to the bathroom than to walk. So they'd rather be in their wheelchair, never walk again, be paralyzed, sit in the wheelchair, but they have the ability to use the restroom. So that's why, if you want to know how thankful I am, thankful is not even a word. And every time I see, patients in my rehab who are unable to do it, I personally, I know Hashem could have, once in the surgery, they would have cut something, and you're never getting nervous back again. And that is, I don't even want to start. It's just, I didn't want to.
You really defied the laws of science. You really, really did.
Yeah, definitely. I believe so. I'm confident that I defied. As I said before, we don't know what would happen, but I'm positive in my feelings and person that this definitely. It's hard. I was going to tell me no, it's nothing. And I know I am nothing, but I believe that this definitely did things for me that are seemingly impossible by laws of science.
The power of this bracha is so incredible to me, and I just want to say, since reading your article, I have the bracha outside of the bathroom, and I really try every single time to just stand in one spot, even though I was originally still trying to just stay in one spot when I say the bracha, but now every time I have to say, I get to say Asher Yatzar, I should say, I think of you, and
you're learning.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yes, that's the goal of the campaign. It's just for awareness, because I was I was thinking about it. It's not awareness of people do all these campaigns, and I'm not gonna name any because that's not fair because they work for a lot of heart and soul into it. But this specific movement is something that it's impossible. You can't you have a body to use. You have people who can walk. There's people in my rehab. I saw them. They're never walking again. And you have the ability to walk, and you're not going to take Hashem 30 seconds. And as I said in my first video, even once a day. So you have 24 hours in a day. That's thousands of seconds. You can't get 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 15 seconds. You can't do it. You say blah blah blah. You can make it to the direct. I mean, it's not like asking so much. It's 30 seconds to thank Hashem. Be able to go. I mean, it's a very simple basis, and that's what we hope that people, even just once a day, even once a week, it's worth the whole thing. For one Jew to do it once a week, it's worth all this time and effort.
Yeah, for sure. How did you come up with the name Asher to Yatzar?
So that was, I think, Siyata Dishmaya. I don't know. Well, Asher means praise. Yatzar means you could, tweak the words. Yatzar means creator. How did it even come up? I really, honestly, I remember so many things in the hospital. It seems to split me at the moment. I really try to remember, when exactly did I think of it? But it's a very basic, thing. Cause if you want to know something really funny, there's people saying you're changing Chazal's words and it's not nice and whatever. On an interesting note, actually, there were those individuals that were saying, you know what, Asher to the Yatzar, really the words are Asher Yatzar, you're changing Chazal's words. And I said, I'm just trying to movement to get people to thank Hashem that they're able to go to the bathroom and praise the Creator. It's not really, I'm not changing Chazal's words. Chazal is Asher Yatzar. I'm not doing that. So, I hope I didn't see a problem. So, they asked Rav Bender's Dachis Paisik, Rav Bender's son, and they asked him before, Rabbi Kielsen asked him, because before you make a whole campaign and thousands and thousands of people see it, it was on all the yeshiva, all the matzahs, and Baltimore Jewish Life. So before, we would send out this video to many different news outlets and to a lot of WhatsApp chats and stuff like that. We had to make sure that this video, and the video on this campaign, the slogan would be okay. Because, Baruch Hashem, our video has been seen on Yeshiva World, on Lakewood Scoop, on Massive, on Baltimore Jewish Life, and they're all, very, supportive, and it was really, very special. So, they asked Shmuel first, who was a leading Paisik in America. He's from Chicago. And they asked him, is it okay to do this sort of slogan? And I still remember the text from Rick Kilson, and it was awesome. It was like such a good feeling. I got you. Like I stuck you back. You can't say I stuck you back. That's really weird. And and like it was just a good feeling. It was like a feeling of victory. Like I'm just trying to do something, and you're like trying to prevent me. And I don't want to say prevent me. They're trying to do. They're obviously the right thing. They want to make sure Chazal's words stay intact, and we cannot change anything from the Torah. And that's true. But I was just trying to, make some sort of, catchy phrase to get people to attach themselves to this campaign. So Rabbi Kielson sent me a text, and it was like a really good feeling with it. He said, Rabbi first says, Asher to Yatzar is great in bold letters, in capital letters. And I was like,
Yay.
You know what? Yes, we got it. So Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem, that was really, really a good feeling to have one of the big gedolim say that this campaign is the slogan is a good slogan, and obviously I knew it was a good slogan because I knew, these things don't just, it came from Shat Shmaya, it was totally, just put into my mind. I don't know, to call it the catchy phrase.
For sure. So can you give some background to this bracha? Like when was it written? Who wrote it? How old is it? Okay,
so that is a very excellent question. And I actually have a Gemara with me, and it's a Gemara Brachas on Daf Samach Amud Beis, which is Daf 60b. And it's actually from the times of the Gemara, which is thousands of years ago. So figure it's close to 2,000 years old, this bracha. That shows how powerful this is. And it was written by the Amora Abaye. Abaye wrote this, and he says, Kinafik Omer Baruch Asher Yatzar, Kinafik, which means when you leave the bathroom, you should say this bracha. And the Gemara goes on to say that, it says all the words that we say, and therefore it shows the power that it's not, a recent kind of thing. This is written thousands and thousands of years ago by an Amora who, Amoras compared to us, we're nothing. We don't even reach their toenails. So that even adds more of a, what should I say? More of a
importance.
Importance is a great word, and more importance to this bracha.
So what is the meaning of this? bracha, and what is the importance of it?
So the importance of the bracha is actually phenomenal, and the meaning of the bracha is, some people misunderstood it to be for only for the bathroom, but however, it's, really, I believe it's for, if you take a look at the words, it's really for all of the bodily functions. And it says that God created a wisdom, tremendous wisdom, how he fused the soul and the body together, and he created so there's hollows and openings in the mouth and the brain, which is a hollow. If one of them would be open, one of them would be closed, we would not be able to last for a second. And then we say, Baruch Atah Hashem, blessed be Hashem, Roifei Chol Basar, who heals all flesh, or Mafi Lasais, is wondrous in his acts. Because, the body is obviously wondrous. So Mafi Lasais, So that's the importance of this bracha, is because you see, first of all, for me the importance of bracha is that I got saved not once but twice from it. So I see right away the importance of the bracha. And but you see that, coming from the times of the Gemara, it's obviously an important bracha.
For sure. And do you feel people that have not gone through any medical issues or, things that, let's say, you have gone through, really understand the meaning? Because you understand really the importance and how thankful you are. But how do you explain to somebody really the importance without them really understanding what you've been through?
Right. So many people, I'll confess myself. If I would see someone, who had a spinal cord injury, before this happened in my first 20 years of my life, I didn't think twice about it. So, and I can't judge for everyone. I'm sure there's many people who, take it to heart even before this all happened. However, I would just try to explain to them, just appreciate what you have. And quite honestly, to say what it does for them, because they didn't go through this and maybe, thank Hashem, my simple answer is, it's your health insurance policy. It's that's what it is. If you imagine you had imagine you had to go to any doctors or anything like that. It's quite frankly probably a superb health insurance policy by the fact that you're able to able to go to the bathroom, able to do so many body functions that many people are unfortunately not able to do.
That is so well put. Did you come up with that yourself?
Health insurance policy? No,
I love that.
Yeah, I actually got it from. I got it from Rav Yossi Hecht. He said those words. He wrote, and actually, on that note, he might Shem will speak with me, speak for a new video coming out. It's basically we're kickstarting a new campaign for a Sephardi version. So we had the Syrian community in Flatbush is a few people reached out to me, and we're starting Asher to the Yatzar 2.0. For a Sephardi version, we had a graphic designer from the Sephardi neighborhood, from the Syrian community. She already made it. She made the cards. It's very beautiful, and because as I said, it's from the Gemara, but if you show them, they take some of them words are a little tweaked, a little differently than ours, and Ashkenazi. So they made a bracha differently, and they added some chaylim from their community, and the order was put in today as we speak. It was put in today, and it should be ready by the end of the week. And we have 5,000 cards. It's not magnets. It's a little different. Cards, I think it's laminated or something. I'm not totally involved with the ordering. But Bezat Hashem should be a big clip for everybody. And we're very excited to join with the start and have a Asher the Yatzar 2.0.
That is so impressive. I am so impressed with you. So I know you're very involved. You're the founder of Asher to the Yatzar. Is your family involved in any way? Do they help out?
They're supportive. They try to spread my videos around on their WhatsApps and the statuses, and some of them give donations. It's very nice. And actually, it's funny I got since my last video, the update video. So I got hundreds upon hundreds of requests for magnets, and we actually shipped. So we just got a shipment of 7,000 new ones from China. Even with this coronavirus, we got them in. And we have people labeling them and, putting them in things. And my family sometimes takes me to the post office, so they'll go themselves. So they're, besides being supportive, they actually help me with the logistics sometimes because I can't drive at the moment, although I'm, gonna Matt Hashem get the special driving gear to be able to drive again. But so until that happens, they help me logistics and stuff.
Wow. I know right now you're working with the Sephardi community and you already got, your name out there and the Asher to the Yatzar name out there. But what is the future for this campaign?
That's a very good question. So my next agenda, because you always have to think the next thing, you can never sell. You want to keep on spreading. So my next agenda that I was thinking about, we just put out this new video, so we got to give some time, for that to settle in about Corona Chizuk, that, because people were in quarantine and they're saying, I can't deal with it, it's so crazy. Let's take a step back and appreciate, I can get fresh air, I can walk around my house and all that kind of stuff. So we just put that out, last week, this in the beginning of this week. But the future agenda, my hopes is I would like to get, start with kids getting involved, in schools. I actually had this course in Darkgate. I spoke in many different classes in the middle school, or many classes, about the importance, and we made assemblies and stuff like that. So that was really special. But now my plan, share half the press with Hebrew Hits, is first exclusive is that we would like to make some sort of raffle or something to get kids involved. And like if they stand for, say, 30 days or something, and they do it and they commit to doing it, they will make a raffle. I'm thinking of maybe like $100 Amazon gift card or something like that. So, maybe get kids involved, and hopefully that will carry into them, so they start when they're young, hopefully it'll stick with them. We hope to stick with them the rest of their life, and hopefully they won't have to go through something like I had to go through, and to be able to, stick with the, and they'll be able, and hopefully they won't have to go through, spine surgery, and they're going to be able to help you their whole life, and you have to keep on playing basketball and swimming and soccer and football and baseball with all their friends, like a regular kid should be able to do.
Yes, Amir Hashem. The more that I hear you speak, the more I'm just feeling like Hashem sent you really as a shaliach to bring awareness to this bracha, because you're so strong. Some other people that if they would have went through what you went through, maybe they would have just sat in the room and said, oh my gosh, like I can't do anything. Like I'm just like upset and depressed. You came out and you came out strong, and you came out with a different perspective on life, which is so inspiring. So thank you so much for doing this. But now I know that you do have a website, right? And what would I find if I would go on your website?
Okay, firstly, I can speak for myself, but I could definitely understand if people, it'd be very hard for them. Imagine going around playing basketball. Imagine, older person, their mother, and they had, tons of running around juggling kids and this and that, and all of a sudden, like in an instant, they have to retrain all their brain and everything like that. I mean, Baruch Hashem, for myself, I'm getting a lot better. I'm able to walk. I'm 1.5 miles an hour on a treadmill. When I first came home a few months ago, on point one, I couldn't take one step. So Baruch Hashem, with tefillos and hard work, it comes out. But I cannot underestimate anybody who goes through a hard thing like something like this, and for them to be proactive. I cannot speak for themselves, for them, and I definitely understand where they're coming from, and I feel for their pain. So now that we said that, I just wanted to make that as a statement. You can go to my website, asher.yatzar.com. It's ASHER to the YATZAR.com. So basically all it is that you could just see, you have a about page, talk a little bit about what it's about. And the main thing is you see the videos. On the videos tab, it shows all the videos all the way from back from August when we made the first one, Rabbi Kielton. You actually can see my urologist speaking on there. That was really special that he came to speak. He's a from Jew, and he saw, it was a very interesting, a very cool video. And then we had an update video, which he released 3 months ago. And then we just put out a Corona Chizuk video. And actually, Mr. Chayarari, special individual, he actually made me a video. We took some of that part of those clips and put it in to the to this most recent video. But his full video is for those to see, and it's truly a remarkable video. As he always speaks so eloquently. And then the main, I wouldn't say the main, is also a donate page that can help us continue this campaign and, to purchase future magnets and to pay for shipping, because shipping costs a lot of money. And I sit in the post office for hours, just, they have to weigh each one because some people order 10, some people order 5, 6, 3, 2. And what I am so remarkable to this day, I've got from, England to South Africa, and I got in Canada, Montreal, and LA, Staten Island, Brooklyn, Lakewood. I mean, it was truly humbling experience for me, and I am so appreciative for the people who do it. So that's the main page, is to order the magnets. So by you doing that in essence is saying, you know what, I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to appreciate what I have, and so you can order the magnets, and then you fill out how much you want, you fill your address, and we try in a timely fashion, however much we could do, to ship them out. And obviously it's always free. We can never charge someone for doing such a holy, lofty act. But B'li'ayin hara, the overwhelming support of so many people, I was very glad to get many sponsorships, donations through my website.
Could you believe, just looking back at where you were either a year or a year and a half ago, can you believe how far your campaign has come?
As I said before, I'm truly humbled, and I'm thankful, grateful, indebted, and whatever the word is. And, as I said before, I attribute it to just seeing someone who went through this. And not only that, it's a simple, basic thing that, we're able to walk, able to go to the bathroom with no outside help, and we're able to walk, we're able to bike, we're able to jog, and all that stuff. So that's why I think, I imagine I attribute that to the people who are joining on the campaign. But honestly, I definitely am overwhelmed by the support, and I thank everybody. And for those who have not hopped on, join the campaign, and it'll be a schus for me, a schus for everybody, a schus for you, for health insurance, at B'ezras Hashem. We should all be zeicha, we all be able to dance to greet the Mashiach, to Kedem Meher Amen, Amen.
Amen. Now, before we get to the last question, I just want to tell you, your videos are so well done, and they're so intriguing, and I love watching them. I like watching all your videos. I know I went through them, so they're very, very, very well done. Now, before we go, I would love to ask you, just how has your campaign been received by the community, and what support, if any, have you received by the members of your community?
It's Baruch Hashem, the members of the community have been very supportive. I've seen many people in the street. I've got recently someone from a Kiddush came over to me and said, wow, your video is so amazing, I still do it. And this person, I got a text from here, I got a text from there. So in essence, it all boils down that, it seems like I haven't got too many negative feedback. So Baruch Hashem, the overwhelming support of the community it's been truly inspiring and amazing, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Yossi, for being here. I'm going to link his website in the description below, so make sure to go check it out. And I'm going to link all of his YouTube videos also in the description below. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And is there anything that you want to say before we go?
Last thing is, stop, stand, and appreciate all of the wisdom that's in your bodies. And just to end off, keep on trucking.
Well, thank you so much. We'll be back next week with some more amazing videos. That was Yossi Hecht, founder of Ashar to the Yatzar.